Alrighty, guys, about to get started here just in a minute. So sorry for the delay, guys. Actually, I had to wake up super early this morning and take a good buddy to the airport for Miami conference, for Bitcoin conference. So I ended up just getting a loss of schedule, but thank you guys for being patient, and I appreciate it. And welcome. We're about to get started here just in a minute. Make sure all the technicals are good. We're looking good. Got all our readings up. We got some pretty good news today, guys, of course. Ever-changing markets very, very quickly. Awesome, and we're good. Alrighty, guys. Well, first off, welcome back to MTV TA, guys. My name is Trent Manager. For all those who are new, welcome. For all those who are returning, my returning patrons, of course, welcome back. Glad to have you guys here. Absolutely. Today, we have a great group of articles to hop into. We got Bitcoin Conference Miami, biggest crypto conference in the world, from size, going on this weekend from June 4th, I think, till about June 6th. So we got some really great speakers there. If we're going to go through here, we got Ron Paul, we got Michael Saylor, we got Nick Szabo, Tony Hawk's going to be there, Jack Dorsey, Twitter CEO. Just kind of going through the quick little overview. Got a lot of sponsorships, from fintech to Riot, CoinCircle. It really is one of the biggest events that we have in the world, which is awesome. So definitely wanted to kind of just throw that out there, and really, really great that they have going on here. Just really getting people informed and aware really what's going on. Yeah, here we go. Whale Day, June 3rd. So that's today. Main Conference 1, Main Conference 2, and then evening after parties and all that. So that's phenomenal. And then also, guys, just for those who are in the Patreon, I know the alerts maybe have been a little bit wacky, but if you can, just try to stay as up to date with the Patreon as you can, just because there are some posts that just don't trigger the alerts, and I'm still trying to figure that out until we get a better platform just for news and alerts and all that. It's just been a little bit odd, just been a little super wacky, but no worries at all. But first off, for our first reading, guys, we got two videos. I think 2 clips we're gonna watch, maybe 1 or 2, if I remember correctly. But first reading we're gonna go off, guys, is that we have Google is revamping its ad policy for cryptocurrency exchanges and wallets. So I didn't know this, actually, believe it or not. I did not. I don't know who else knew this at all either, but apparently, I guess since early 2018, like 17, right after our last major run, is Google suspended advertisements for cryptocurrency wallets and policies. Like for advertising for exchanges and wallets, such as MetaMask and Coinbase and Binance. I guess Google wasn't allowed to have those advertisements at all, advertising people to come join their wallets and their sites to get either their free bonuses or just to overall have them as a customer. So Google just lifted this ban, I think, 2 days ago, and now you may, if you have not ad block or anything like that, you may see Google advertisements or crypto advertisements on the side of your main websites, which is pretty interesting, because I guess I didn't really ratio it together that I guess I didn't really see any advertisements like on the web, to the sides or anything like that. On TV, yeah, I know you guys might have seen something on TV, Coinbase advertisements, or Binance advertisements USA or anything like that, which I always thought was interesting. But now, yeah, they're fully unrestricted now that we're getting the looser regulations, and people are starting to really start turning their heads and continue to give us that thumbs up and that pat on the back. There's a lot of great education that's going around, and like we say often, that's the biggest barrier to entry right now, is people just understanding technology and continuing to see its purpose and use function. Also, guys, we're gonna go over to our funding and our funding for our DAO passes $2 million in charity. For those who don't know, for a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. So, for example, big companies such as Intel, AMD, Nvidia, any of those AAA companies, or any company, general enterprise that wants to have construct their own blockchain, which is possible. That's slightly what my job is. I'm not. I'd say a little small portion of it. That's what we do. But going back to DAOs, they're big for private blockchains such as enterprise and companies. So utilizing sensitive data such as employees, payroll, company executions and plans for the future, game plans, pretty much anything that has sensitive data wise. Of course, you would have a database and storage for that, but with the terms of DAOs, decentralized autonomous organization, it gives a little bit more flexibility, versus having the single point of failure. And that's what we talk about often is, what makes Ethereum and a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, not all of them, but some of them make them so valuable and impressive is that, we eliminate the single point of failure. We know that Ethereum is going for a world computer. So that just means that no matter where, things go south, either if things go out in Europe or in the USA or, South Africa or South America, it doesn't matter. There are too many machines to be attacked for a single point of failure, therefore making the runtime 24/7, 365. It just kind of eliminates that, that reliability on that one single party, which is always great. But the reason that this is so important and it's so big is because we're starting to see this acceptance. We knew in Wyoming. I remember we covered this a while ago. You guys might not remember this, but the mayor of Wyoming, she proposed this, and she was the first in the United States for her state to have DOA laws, regulations, and intact for companies who wanted to do that in their state, Wyoming. So that definitely loosened a little bit, a good amount of the guidelines for those people in Wyoming, and they're able to do these private funded equity pools, and they're able to construct these and do these. DAOs, I believe, are going to be very, very large and continue to be widespread, just because I believe they're taking over main stances of databases and such, just because you can do a lot more interactions with smart contracts. There's just a lot more functions and scalability and pull action that you can do with DAOs, which is phenomenal. So great news overall. We love to see that, especially in terms of the United States, and it's moving forward. This is something that they're going to have to be looking at 100%. And quickly going over to our NASDAQ listing, miners urge China to open doors to green mining. And this is another big chat that we had also. This is a really bullish line as well, because I watched a Kathy Wood interview, and she was mentioning this as well, is that the mining energy, the mining usage and mining construction, that we have with our proof of work system, so Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you need these mining algorithms to get these correct algorithms to supply, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's how, mining is done. We've covered that quite a bit, but just how this is done from, the mining standpoint, and then moving to a green network, it's going to push. This may happen, but I know Kathy Wood was saying this may accelerate the use of renewable and green energy. We already know that miners, in the sense, already search for renewable energy already, cheap power, dirt cheap power, because that's how miners are going to make their most money. There's no point of you being a miner and you getting some rich, crazy power, and then your power outweighing your mining material. So therefore, you're losing. You're not making any money. You're paying more electricity than you are paying in then you're paying in dollars. So therefore, it's really canceling out your ROI, so you're not really making a ton of money. So that gives the incentive for miners to find renewable power, because renewable power is always cheaper, and that's going to save you costs on your ROI. So the narrative of this push is that with miners leaving the USA and this being the push now, this may accelerate the EV and the green race, because if you have miners, especially these big mining cartels, if you guys haven't seen these farms, like, they're massive. I encourage you guys to go look them up. If you see how big these are on a big scale, they're drawing tons, good amounts of power, and if those are going to be 90% renewable or bump up to 85, and most of them are already 70%, this is going to accelerate the EV green race. If you're being rewarded and given the incentive, to do good, it's always going to work out better for, your citizens, or, people that are going for that motive to do a lot better in that area. So this may actually, send us a catalyst for the green push. And I think that's very much true, especially when you get this stuff in terms of like a mining business as like a family, like you have people who have mom and pop stores and people who are, working bakeries already. Like I wouldn't see why you wouldn't have, your family being a big mining, cartel, and have like, you help run the farm. You learn about GPUs and you learn about hash rates and all that. I don't see why that wouldn't be something that could be done. So definitely want to throw that out there and just kind of get that on the table, because these are some pretty good news articles, I believe, in terms of like the market action and where we're seeing. We've already seen a pretty good. We never said it was going to be easy, but our recovery phase has been pretty okay. We're looking all right. I don't think we're out of the woods just yet. There can be a little bit more hurt. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm still walking on eggshells. I'll definitely say my personal opinions till after the video, but. Also, guys, in our next article we're going to be diving into is going to be our China to hand out 6.2 million in new digital Yuan trial in Beijing. So this will be Beijing residents should apply to participate in the lottery until midnight on June 7th. Chinese government is launching another digital Yuan simulate ongoing digital currency trials, this time in the capital Beijing. So I thought this was super interesting because how we talked about last week, us fighting for world currency and the digital race in general. This is a huge step. We knew that China had already been doing this. They've been doing this for so long. But I think just now they've gotten the structural and, like the overall foundation down for actually, their full integrated stablecoin, which I think is awesome. And it's cool to see. And, of course, you're not going to, just hate on somebody else because they're ahead of you. You like to see this type of stuff because it's all a collective agreement. But starting in June, these features, with red envelopes and traditional ways of gifting money, will each providing free online wallets containing 200 digital yuan, so $31. So I guess that translates, to USDC, just because we're still converts to our dollar. But China's already given away apparently 150 million, so that's about $23.5 million. So this is basically just a test run to see how this goes. But we knew that they've been doing this for quite a bit, and I think this is really just the final rollout phase to see how it's going to go on a mass scale. But seriously, that's very impressive. Like, to even have something is far developed as this is beyond impressive. We have USDC in the United States and we have other stable coins, but in terms of your business accepting them and where else you can put them, like I only put my USDC, like I only put my dollars in stable coins and put them in BlockFi or put them somewhere else where it's going to earn me some pretty good yield, just because our banks don't have good yields. I think I saw the best like savings account, guys, like it was like 0.5% or something. Like my Robinhood account, like that Robinhood keeping your cash bundle is like, it's like 0.3. It's so bad. It just doesn't even make like any sense. Like it's just crazy. It doesn't even make sense to have like your money there, just because I think you're losing more than you're winning. But overall, guys, this looks really good. This is a huge step. This is a massive step in the right direction, especially China going as many people as they have. This cannot be easy. But also, I almost forgot this at the bottom. I did not see this. But as previously reported, China's central bank is looking to allow foreign athletes and visitors to use their digital yuan during the Beijing Olympic trials in the winter of 2022. So that's pretty dope. So by the time this rolls around, we could definitely see a whole virtualized ecosystem around the Olympics, which I think would be so tight. That would be really, really dope. So great news. Awesome. Quickly hopping over to our investors report for re-entry of crypto funds. So with our ETH vehicle showing some strength. So we talk about Ethereum, how well it's been holding up and performing. We've seen a lot of interest over the past couple weeks with Bitcoin dominance being pretty much down from a lot of its highs. We're now starting to see the light shine more and more on Ethereum, and we're seeing bigger players come in and see the use case and the overall tidal wave of what Ethereum can definitely be. We've talked about EIP updates, we talked about protocols, we talked about next month. It's June time, so next month July we got EIP 1559. A big upgrade that's going to be better for scalability and overall basic user participation, which is going to be great. Moving from proof of stake to proof of work. I saw that Ethereum going from proof of work to proof of stake is going to be a 98% consumption power rate. So from moving from the mining algorithms to just trusting validators and stakers, you're saving about 98% energy. So that's a very good look in terms of the green narrative that we've had so often slammed on us, which we've debunked so many times. But until that officially goes away in terms of really hard facts, which is, I don't know how it hasn't. We're still going to be fighting that narrative for quite a bit. But Ethereum is doing its absolute best to keep up with the crowd, and I believe it's going to continue to hold strong and move along. With that being said, there are other projects as well that continue to show promise. Polkadot, Cardano. Let's see what else goes on the smart contract platform. I know Chainlink is more of Oracle, but still helps the ecosystem great. Polygon and Matic, we've talked about as well. And a lot of people come with the narratives, ETH won't last, there will be another overtaker. Absolutely, there may be at this time, but for the time being, in the short to medium and long term, I don't think anyone comes close to flipping Ethereum's potential and outweighing what it can do. And with that being said, I get a lot of questions of people the fees are too crazy and it's going to be not usable. It always kind of rolls back to the fees, but people often forget that Ethereum's ecosystem, the reason that a decentralized network is expensive sometimes, and that why it is not easily scalable, is because like we see with Binance Smart Chain and a lot of these other centralized exchanges or centralized blockchains, is that yes, they are sacrificing those fees, for centralization. So it is difficult to have a decentralized network with low fees and continue to keep that decentralization, because the fees are part of what keep the network constructed and keep them, keeps it without keeps it, unclogged. That's one of the whole reasons we have fees, is that someone can't spam the network with transactions and things that aren't supposed to be on the network if they actually have to pay real money. It's a lot easier to have less consequence if you don't pay. I think you guys understand that. But definitely to lay it on the table, and I know that we've had some, headbutting and controversy just, in the space about it. But, it's kind of just a simple reminder for those who are new. It's kind of one of the chime in there just in case it's the first time you're watching this. And I highly suggest you go back and watch some old videos as well, just because, we've been covering this quite a while. But overall, cryptocurrency shows influx after record outflows in previous 2 weeks. Ethereum's investment products make share records at 27% a high. We have seen people kind of stepping back in the water here, slowly walking on eggshells, not throwing too much money at the pools, but still looking very good in terms of technicals and how we're moving along and continuing to navigate where we're going before the year ends and after the year ends. I still believe that the lengthening cycle theory is still upon us. We will see this carry over into 2022. Absolutely. Just my thoughts, of course. And also, guys, we're gonna go over this real quick. Let me see when our video is. Okay, cool. Our next article has that video with Miami Mirror, and then we're also gonna go over we'll go over this short article of antivirus from Norton to offer their cryptocurrency mining, and then we will probably wrap it up unless there's something else I missed. But $270 billion. Fund Guggenheim is seeking Bitcoin exposure, SEC filing shows. And this brings up to a great point, guys, that we haven't even gotten our ETF yet. We haven't even, and people are like, oh, why the ETF? Why the ETF? Oh my gosh, everyone won't shut up about the ETF. Like, this is going to save us. Like, it truly will. Like, people don't understand, like, how much more volume ETFs bring into a space. When you have an ETF, an exchange traded fund, that is like the blue check mark of Twitter and Instagram. That is like the verified check mark of a sector. When you have an ETF that emerges in a new sector, and like that is your safest bet coming from, whether you're old, young, that just gives you the most sleep well at night, tucked in, next day. It just makes things so much better in terms of, understanding and, driving in more individuals and people, high business class, and it doesn't matter. It just shows, it just gives you the thumbs up. And moving on from that is that most people don't want to handle their private keys. They don't want to have to remember their seed phrases and have the risk of losing their keys and oh, I lost my money forever, because that's really the case. People don't want to have to deal with a lot of that. They just want to be able to buy a piece, sit, relax, and not have to do all the extra steps. And that's okay, and that's the realism of things. People like things easier. They don't want to have to go through loops and holes to do something that everyone else is doing, even though that may be the most secure way and the easiest way. Okay, not the easiest way, but maybe the best way and most secure. People really don't care about that. They're willing to take that risk. So which I think is okay. I think that's completely fine, because I can definitely agree with that. And definitely, where we're moving in terms of, I said this yesterday with a coworker, and that, these guys are geared up for something. These guys don't sit around all day and just look and say, should we get in? Ooh, nah, not today. Maybe next week. No, these guys have planned. These guys have planned strategies. Some of these guys have probably been accumulating for months now, weeks now. I guarantee it. We've seen the metrics and on-chain data with Glassnode. We can see. This is the only market, guys, where you can see exactly what people are doing at all times. We know when big players come in and pull stuff and put things in. We see that. We see that. You can easily look that up. You can go on Etherscan. You can go on BTC Explorer. You could go on Twitter. There's literally a Twitter account called Whale Alert. It tells you anytime that whales move a massive amounts of money or deposit massive amounts of money. This is the truly transparent market to where you can see everything that people are doing without issues. Versus stocks, AMC, and all that jazz. Those guys. I mean, those guys are getting screwed now, but they were doing the screwing for a while. Absolutely. But moving forward, guys, Guggenheim, we've seen their shift narrative. They are here, and they're going to make a big splash when they come in here. Nothing small. I mean, we're talking, $5.3 billion. Nothing, maybe up towards 8. We've seen a lot of these SEC guys and a lot of these bigger players say, hey, like, we're not coming in here for a little splash. If we're coming in here, we're coming here to shake things up. Like, we want a piece, and, we were not as accepting before, but we saw the magnitude. That's what these guys are thinking. That's what the narrative in their brain gives them. These are not stupid guys, and they will play their game, and they don't care about you. That's just real life. They got families they got to set up for generations, and they got things they got to do too. And this is a bet that they're willing to take now, just like you are, in terms of that, and they're going to do everything they can to catch up to where you guys are, just because we did beat them here first. So just remember that, they want what you have. I promise you that 100%. And also, guys, real quick, we're going to watch our video, jumping into this section just for a second. Blockchain careers at JP Morgan Miami. We're going to be going over the mayor's crypto investments, plus more news on their job base and investment news in their city. So Miami's literally turned into like a whole technological fintech hub, which is crazy. JP Morgan opened up 70 plus blockchain related jobs from USA, Europe, and Asia, including product manager, developers, engineers, researchers, payments related processors, and more, which I think is awesome. That we knew JP Morgan's been stepping in here for a while, regardless of their trash talk, and even though it doesn't feel like they're on our side, they are. They're opening up a ton of positions to get them more educated, because that is our biggest barrier to entry. I can honestly say it's not technical skills, it's definitely education. So Cryptology Asset Group, Novogratz company is going to be there. USD 100 million investment globally, crypto related. I think we went over that. We knew that. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez confirms he owns Bitcoin and Ethereum. We knew that for quite a while, but this did come out today, so we're going to give this a play real quick. I think he will be at the Miami conference, of course. I would hope he'd be there, but let's give this a quick play real quick.
How concerned are you, though, about manipulation? I mean, we've been talking all morning about ransomware. You just talked about the issue of somebody like an Elon Musk or anybody, being able to push up the stock. I believe, actually, when you went on the air originally with Miami's plan around Bitcoin, it also moved the price of Bitcoin.
It did, and I think that's indicative of, an asset that is fairly young, right? As we said, doesn't have, stable trading yet. And I think that, listen, the possibility of manipulation is obviously a fear, right? And a problem, without a doubt. As you said, when I put out that tweet about what we were doing in the city, it was literally the most viewed video that I've ever put out. I put out at 10:30 on a Thursday, and I think it had 7 million views. That also indicates to me that the number of customers and the number of people that are interested in crypto is incredible. I've actually heard reports over the last couple of days that up to 100 or 150 million people are holding.
Mr. Mayor, real quick before you go, do you own Bitcoin yourself?
I do. I own Bitcoin and I own Ethereum.
At what price did you buy in at?
So I bought Bitcoin, I think in the high 30s, and I bought Ethereum. I forget the price, but it was about 1,500.
Pretty good.
I bought it the
good
day
call.
That the U.S. Congress, the Senate passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, and I knew at that point that inflation was inevitable and that there had to be some sort of a hedge.
Have you bought any more?
Smart man.
I haven't bought the dip yet, but I'm planning to. I've just been too busy. I've been working too much.
Interesting. You're calling it the dip. Mr. Mayor, we wish you a lot of luck with it. We wish you a lot of luck with the conference.
I love him. I think he's so dope. I think that's so, man. That's got to take such big, such big shoulders to be able to like put your city there and like say, all right, we're doing this. Like, just in terms of regulation loopholes and criticism and just everything you got to. It just makes your job so much harder as a governor to implement these type of things. But overall, like it is really great to see. Seriously, and I saw a statistic where it was like 18% of people in the U.S. now are somewhat exposed to cryptocurrency, whether that be Dogecoin, Chainlink, Bitcoin, Ethereum, anything. So that is also pretty dope to see. We're starting to see that kind of tidal wave take over a little bit, which I think is phenomenal, which is really, really great just for where we're going. And just a little quick overview. I thought this was really dope. For those who don't know Norton 360 antivirusware, they are now offering millions of people soon to be able to mine cryptocurrencies without installing any extra programs. We know that with mining, usually GPUs come in and a bunch of mining ware, and you got to do all this extra investment. But I guess Norton here, and I've seen this before, with online mining, where especially with helium, we haven't covered helium very much, but long story short, helium is it feeds your Wi-Fi for mining, so it will take radio, your Wi-Fi waves, bounce them in between each other, and use that for execution of mining. So it's not using your power. And we've seen this type of, not execution, but we've seen this a little bit before, where we're seeing not just proof of work and proof of stake, but we're seeing other proof systems that are coming out. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back, guys, and look at that proof system, but it was a brand new proof system that I've never heard of. I think it was POD. I think it was like proof of drive or something. It had something to do with with your megabytes and your gigabytes and terabytes in your hard drives, which is very, very interesting. And I need to do a little bit more research on that just because I didn't really understand it right off the bat. But once I go back and do hear the pitch, I will definitely let you guys know on that. But in terms of the availability, we know Norton's got tons of customers, millions and millions and millions of customers, and coming from a cybersecurity place, I thought this was very interesting. So in terms of them being trustworthy of the markets and the projects and the overall just understanding of these cryptocurrencies, I would say that's pretty great. For a cybersecurity company to loosen the grip and have that on their platform, it says something. And I know we talked about it on Tuesday. I showed you guys that Venmo update to where you can start buying cryptocurrency on Venmo, and I think you could send cryptocurrency on Venmo. So do you remember that as well? If next time you want to pay a friend or do anything on that, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. So alrighty guys, I don't think we have any more to cover. We actually blew through this today. We were pretty on it today. 25-minute stream. Got about 5 minutes left. Let's see if I'd like to at least make it half an hour. So let's see if we can pull something else up. Let's do a little quick search. See if we can go to YouTube. See if we can find something interesting or something, guys. So we can kind of pull up last minute. Let's go to here. Let's go to Today on Chain. Let's just see if there's any articles I missed that may be good for us. Hope the long weekend was great. And the week is still going well. I can't believe it's already Thursday. Miami's Congress passed 1%. Yep, I already knew that. Interview with Nick Saban has Bitcoin. Yeah, we'll have to keep up with the Bitcoin conference. I don't know if they'll do any live streams or anything like that, but if they do, then we will for sure hop on. Just trying to see if there's any other articles that we can squeeze in here. But overall, I think we got some pretty good ones today, guys. Some super duper good ones. Great. Oh yeah, we did see this. Oh wow, hold on. Yeah, Biden's crypto tax evasion crackdown could also hit non-trader. We saw that where capital gains tax is going to be hitting our. He proposed it. I don't think it's going to pass, but like capital gains, we're going to see the largest capital gains takeout that we've seen ever. Like this is the first time ever. I think it's like 35% or something. Not for sure set in stone, but Mr. Biden did offer that to the Senate, and the Senate's got to make a decision. But people also need to remember that I can tell that some people didn't pay attention in government class that the president does not have all the power. He's still got to go through a ton of Senates, to get that approval, and a lot of those guys are not going to be okay with that. So it's totally okay. I think we're gonna be all right. It was a little scary seeing that though, but I think we're gonna be all right, which is fine. Let's just go on crypto Twitter, see if we can find. Let's see if any of the Ethereum guys are tweeting out anything crazy today. See if Tim's got anything for us. Nice sandwich. That's nice. I think we might be. Let's see. Whoops. Any tweets? I know they're just talking about Ethereum upgrades and really about the protocols and see if they dropped anything crazy. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Alrighty, guys. I don't think there's anything too crazy for us to else cover today. With that being said, like, subscribe, share this with friends or family. Anyone who you think would have benefit to this. Thank you guys for showing up today. I really, really appreciate it. All those who are new, welcome. I hope to see you guys next time. I hope you guys stick around and consider looking at the Patreon. All my patrons and students who are already here, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are doing great. Just kind of some closing thoughts, guys. Here, actually, let's just go on CoinGecko real quick before I really actually hop off. Okay, this is my last thing before hopping off. Let's see how we're looking. We're looking all right. Not bad. That's not bad at all. We have covered some serious ground. My personal thoughts of where we are. Still viewing. I have bought a bit of the dip, here and there. I saw some good projects. I got some Polkadot around 22, 23. Thought that was a good entry. It's 27 now, so pretty happy with that. Uniswap, been looking to pick up a little bit of that as well. Been looking at my smaller projects. Ethereum still accumulating. Bitcoin, DCA every single week, once a week. We already know that. We'll never stop buying Bitcoin. Ethereum as well, been DCA as well. A lot of my smaller Cardano has been holding its own. But overall, to where I think we're looking at, guys, and where we're moving forward, we never said there's going to be easy climb back up, but you can see, the traction a little bit that we're getting. I don't want to be ahead of myself right now, but I think we are looking pretty okay right now. Of course, everything can shift like this. Don't get me wrong, I'm right with you, but let's just keep paying attention. We saw the news we saw the news we covered. We saw the preparation, and we see what people are thinking. We follow the money, we don't follow the talk. So, we've seen. We read the talk. There are people talking some great things, but they're backing it up with their actions. Through like some of the articles that we had. So let's continue to be patient. Whoops, guys! I really just realized that the price action was not even on the right screen. I'm so sorry for that. But this is how we're looking right now. You can kind of just take all my words I just said and put that, what we saw. But I'm done rambling. We're done. Stay safe, guys. I will see you guys probably this weekend. Stay tuned to some other videos. Anything that I find reasonable and things that are going to help you guys, I will, of course, be on here. Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much. I will see you guys.